Okay. Nice. We're live. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is Friday. Let's see. I just said Saturday. Saturday, May 10th, 2025. And we are playing the puzzles. There we go. Awesome. Let's just dive in, right? I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're everyone's feeling good and feeling the vibes. Today my daughter, is in a play, and we're going to get to go to the matinee, which is really fun. It is not my first time seeing it because last night I filmed the play. I teach photography and video and TV broadcast, and so the school asked me to film the play. Every time we have like the major fall play or the spring play, I film it, which is awesome. But the cool part about it is that this year, the spring play that is happening right now is actually happening in the black box theater rather than the big auditorium. The whole auditorium, you can fit thousands of people. In the black box, you can only fit it's a real intimate experience because people are sitting almost in the round in this setting. Sometimes actors will walk past you or around you, or it's really neat. It's super cool. And it's a very, very clever production. The kids are doing a great job. So, let's dive in. Let's play the connections puzzle. It's one of those times where I'm like, I get to, do that for the school. But then also I'm like, I'm a proud papa, so I live this kind of duality, being not only a teacher at the school and I would say a fairly beloved teacher at the school, but also a dad. It's cool to have that kind of dad pride moment. It's cool. All right, let's see what's here. Beans minus. Oh, that's so funny. Yesterday, part of the puzzle was like all the different results of adding or subtracting or minus. That's funny. And minus is here. We're playing the connections puzzle, by the way. I didn't mention that. We got beans minus love, energy, zip, best, comic, sans, comic sans. That's funny. Sincerely wanting bacon. Oh my gosh. Sincerely wanting bacon. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Sincerely wanting bacon. Oh, here, you know what we should do? We should click all three. Sincerely wanting bacon. And I am going to include that. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. That's beautiful. Sincerely wanting bacon. I love that. I haven't even read it all yet. It just felt right. Sunset, absent, landing, cheers, and pep. Wow, these words are all over the place. Okay, sincerely and love. Those sound like endings of letters or emails. Here's best. Cheers. Those are like message endings. Yeah, letter sign-offs. I hate it when somebody ends their email with best. What does that mean? Best what? I hope you have the best. Sincerely wanting you to fail connections. Oh, thank you for your vote of confidence, Callie. I took a screenshot because it said sincerely wanting bacon. I feel like these go together. Wanting, minus, and absent. And sans means without. I think that means without. There we go. Sans is without in, I think it's French. That's not how they pronounce it, I'm sure. I don't speak French. But sans serif is, serif's the little tails on a font. This is a not sans. Let's see, can I find one? These are sans serif, so they don't have the little tails. But like the word for connections has funny little tails on the ends. And that would be a serif font. It has the little tails. So that means without the little tails. Sans serif. Okay, and how are these related? Oh, wait a minute. Comic strip, bacon strip, landing strip. Oh, cute. Sunset Strip. Sunset Strip, Los Angeles. Yep. Okay, and then zip. Zip tie, beans. Oh, pep in your step, energy. Okay, I get it. Yep. All right. This is one of those ones that you were able to find out all four. I was able to find out all four at least. That's so funny. Letter sign-offs. Best, cheers, love, and sincerely. If you're writing letters, not emails, but letters, and ending them with best, I worry about you. That's my least favorite sign-off from emails. Best, like you are too lazy to write anything else, or you know how I end mine? Every email, I say thanks with an exclamation point, and it's just like, it sounds peppy, it sounds quick. It's like, wow, thanks for writing me, thanks. And when kids write me, I usually sign off, "You are awesome," just to remind them how awesome they are. If a kid has the courage to write their teacher, it's very hard for a kid to write their teacher. I know that. Kids will go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was nervous about writing you." I'm like, "Why?" I'm like the most approachable person in the world. I don't know. But when a kid writes me, I will always end it with, "You are awesome." Unless they're a real stinker. No, I'm just kidding. Even them. Right? "You are awesome." And then Miller. To the kids, I just say Miller because that's what they call me at school. But if a parent writes me, then I'll do something more formal than that. All right. Without, this is the green category. Absent, minus, sans, meaning without in French, like sans serif, and wanting. And then it's funny, I saw this one. When it's only down to 8 answers, there's only 2 categories left. And I'm like, what could these be? You start really piecing it together. It's like, okay, how are these 8 related rather than how are these 16 related somehow? You're pulling from a pool of 16. Bacon strip, comic strip, landing strip, and sunset strip. I like that. And then the blue category was vigor. You've got the beans. You've got energy. You've got pep. You've got zip. Congrats, you've never heard beans. Yeah, it's not very often used. You barely ever use it. Anybody. Okay. And today we'll play the mini. Doink. There it goes. Okay, and then I will put it like this so it looks good. Okay, common inclusion in a tourist's brochure. Maybe fly. Right? Fly to London, fly to Paris, whatever. Olympic honor might be a medal. Any of a set of green plastic toys. Any of a set of green plastic toys. Green plastic toys, army men. But it says any set. So is it army man or army men? You know what I mean? It could be men or man. We'll come back to it. We might need to change that. Still on the loose. On the lam. On the run. Escaped. That fits. Some people say escaped. There's no X in that one. Escape. Escape. Driver's license or passport. I almost want to say real ID. Everyone's talking about the real ID coming into effect. I have mine. Everybody has theirs. You should, at least. If you've been lazy for the last 5 years, you don't have your real ID. Let's see. Driver's license. Like, identification is too long to fit there. I don't know. We'll come back. Star of the Eras Tour. That is either Taylor or Swift. Because, look. That fits. But also... Oh, it doesn't fit. Okay, it's Swift. I thought they were the same length. They're not. 30, 45, or 50 on a beach bottle. Beach bottle. Oh, beach bottle. Like a bottle of... That's SPF, a bottle of suntan lotion. Or normal people might say sunscreen. Why do I say suntan lotion? Somebody called me out on that once. We were on a trip, and I was like, "Oh, hand me the suntan lotion," and they were like, "Suntan lotion?" And I was like, I don't know where that comes from. I think my grandma, we'd go to the beach all the time. She used to call it suntan lotion. Chills out. All right, we've got some wrong answers here for sure. Chills out. I don't know. We'll come back. Prompt after swiping one's card at an iPad. Well, I know that's tip at the end. Prompt after swiping one's card at an iPad cash register. Maybe pay a tip? So is this wrong? Maybe both of these are wrong. Whoops. Because that could be like leave a tip or maybe just pay a tip. All right, so maybe we got those top two wrong. Form groups of two. Off. Okay, it's like form groups of two, like pair off. It's giving me the top ones. Like, look, I have 9 getting built, but I don't know about the other ones. Okay, totally authentic. When something is totally authentic, remember that could be an A. I don't know. I feel like it's an A, but we leave it that way. No turn on. Maybe all of these are wrong. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Maybe all of these are wrong. Because this one, you might see no turn on red. No turn on red. No. Oh, sticky stuff. What's sticky stuff? Like goo? Like the goo that hit my windshield about a month ago? So mad. Some prankster. I probably had him in my class, honestly. Threw goo on my windshield. I was not happy about that. So any set of green plastic toys in Toy Story. Green plastic toys were... This is a tricky one. This is definitely a tricky one. Still on the loose. Maybe out there? That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit, see? Driver's license or passport. If that's a D, then this is like... That's an I. But then what's this? These might be leftover letters from guesses. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Hold everything. Because this... Not that. This could be photo ID. Photo ID. Sticky stuff. Oh, maybe sap. Sap. Now that I have a couple letters down, this makes more sense. Flittering flyers around a flame. Maybe moth. Moths. Yeah, because there's an S on the end. Totally authentic. Oh, yeah. Legit. That's great. We're doing these in a totally different order now. Chills out. So usually if there's a parentheses word, that means that the answer also could share that word. Chills out. I think I know. Mellows out. Right? That's always a hint, right? If it has that out at the end, that's an indicator. Oh, the answer probably has out in it too. Okay, I don't know if these are correct. These are leftover letters. Oh, wait a sec. Olympic honor, a medal. That's what I had before. Why did I second guess that? I don't know. Oh, okay, hold on. I think I know this one too. Common inclusion in a tourist's brochure would have a map with it. I hope so. Prompt after swiping one's card at an iPad. Oh, add a tip. Add a tip. All right, we're getting it. Starting to fall into place now, isn't it? Form groups of 2. Pair off. Nice. Okay, that one took a lot longer. I mean, it is a Saturday puzzle. Saturdays tend to be a little more involved, don't they? Okay, well, let's recap. We did all right. We did okay. It took a few tries, didn't it? Okay, common inclusion in a tourist's brochure. Hopefully it has a map. An Olympic honor. We had this before, but then I second-guessed it and erased it. Medal. Olympic honor, medal. Just the down clues weren't lining up. Any of a set of green plastic toys in Toy Story. Soldier. I said Army Man. Soldier. Absolutely. Soldier. Still on the loose. At large. Yeah. Driver's license or passport. A photo ID. Hopefully you all have your real ID if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, you're probably wondering why they make such a fuss about the ID. And why the one from California has a bear on it. Star of the Eras Tour. That's Swift. Add a tip. Yeah, add a tip. Let's see. 30, 45, or 50 on a beach bottle. Right? A beach bottle. It's, sunscreen that you would put on. My grandma used to call it suntan lotion, so I guess it rubbed off on me. Get it? Rubbed off because it's suntan lotion. Never mind. SPF. I don't remember what SPF stands for, but sun protection factor, maybe. I'm guessing that. Solar, maybe solar protection factor, because it's got to sound sciencey. Chills out, mellows out. Prompt after swiping one's card at an iPad cash register. Add a tip. Add a tip. Form groups of 2. Pair off. Flittering flyers around a flame. Moths. Every time you go camping, there are moths flying around. Totally authentic. Legit. Sticky stuff. Sap. And no turn on red. We are going to play some more puzzles today, but if you like what you see so far, give it a like. Consider subscribing. I do this every day. And on the weekends, I do it in the morning just like this. And in the summer, once we finally get to graduation day, I'll be able to do it early in the morning. So that'll be a lot better. I do like doing it, right at the end of the day. But by the end of the day, once I get home from work, from school, people have already done the puzzles. And actually, I was thinking while I was doing this one, I bet people that have already done the puzzles are getting a kick out of me failing, right? They're looking at me like, ha, you're going to get it wrong. And then maybe I do get it wrong, or maybe I get it right, or maybe I take a wild guess in the mini crossword puzzle and it's not even close, and you're like, why'd you say that? That's part of the fun, though, I guess, right? Oh, boy. Okay. All right, let's play today's Wordle. And as you know, my house rule is I'm not going to look at the chat during the Wordle, so I'll struggle through it myself. But you guys are free to chat amongst yourself. I just won't be looking at it. So, all right. Let's start with Lance. Okay, there's an A and an E. A good second guess. How about a non-intersecting word might be typos. No way. I got all 5 letters. That's crazy. Okay, but they're all in the wrong places. Okay, so it does not end with an E. It does not end with an S. It's very common to end with a Y. Doesn't end with an S. What if it's consonants together? It could be S, T, A, E. Whoops, A, E, Y. No, it's not going to do that. It almost looks like safety. Or I saw another one in there. Oh, like tasty. It's not tasty. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of it backwards. Maybe, look at this. I found another word. How about yeast? Like bread yeast. Right? T-Y-A-E. I bet you it's yeast. Okay. In honor of that, maybe we'll make a loaf of bread today. My wife has a bread maker. And she can do gluten-free bread. She can do, it literally, you just put the ingredients in. You don't even have to mix them. And the bread maker just runs and runs and runs. And then in a couple hours, you have a hot, steaming loaf of bread. It's awesome. Okay, that works great. Cool. Yeah, we got it on 3 today. We usually get it on 4. You can see my win rate right there. Rubbed off. You didn't like my joke? Not very funny. Callie was mildly impressed by my joke. Talking about how sunscreen rubs off. The name that I used rubs off on me. So we started with the word lance. And it's, I don't know, maybe helpful or risky, I don't know, to use such common letters all at once. Because then, like, what do you have left? I had lance and then non-intersecting word that I like using a Y sometimes because it's one of those letters. It's like, oh, you'll never use a Y. Actually, though, I won't come up with an opening move that has like a Z or an X or a Q or something. You're never going to use that. It might have those in the answer, but you're probably not going to use it as a guess. That'll be one of the last letters to come. But I don't mind guessing Y because pretty frequently it's actually in the puzzle. So I will do that. Cool. So Lance and typos gave me all 5 letters, and they're all yellow, but that's okay. And then we ended on yeast. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a screenshot of that one. I was considering. Well, I won't tell you what I'm considering, but I was thinking of anytime there's like a good, real, like concise answer like that. I was going to take a screenshot. So. Okay. The Strands puzzle. And let's scroll down just a tad. There we go. How many screenshots today? I know. What are we at now? Taking too many screenshots. Here, I'll even tell you how many screenshots taken just today. We've got... Oh, I scrolled down farther. 3. Just 3. Only 3. Not crazy. I'm not insane. I'm not taking screenshots of every single thing. All right. Find the missing links. This could be about sausage. This could be about animals that could fill in between us and humans and apes. I don't know. I see a Z in there. That's sort of strange. I almost see the word sausage in the middle there. Oh, boy. I don't think you're... Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe it is. I thought missing link as like animals. No. Maybe that is actually what it is. Because look. Sausages. Oh my gosh. That's funny. And there's even a missing link out of the line, right? There's one missing, the L. That's really funny. I promise you I woke up 20 minutes ago. I did not look at any of this. Find the missing links. Oh my gosh. That's really funny. I'm kind of struck by that, because I'm thinking like missing link, like, you know, the connection between, you know, us and caveman or us and apes or whatever. That's really funny. Okay, link, sausage links. Oh, what are all the names of sausages though? I know there's bratwurst. There's andouille sausage. Oh, liverwurst. Speaking of my grandma, she loved liverwurst. That was like one of her go-to meats. And now looking back at it, I was like, that is so processed, but and strange taste, but actually like one of those comforting tastes. I don't think I've had liverwurst in a long time, but it is exactly what it sounds like. Wurst means you know, sausage in a casing, and liver is exactly what it sounds like, liver. All right, so what else? Oh, I know. Chorizo. I actually had chorizo not that long ago. Chorizo. Ooh, I see another one. One of my favorites. Kielbasa. My dad would barbecue kielbasa on the grill. Oh, so good. How about this one? Salami. Nice. That's so funny. I thought this was talking about animals or something. I'm still trying to figure out the puzzle. And then I went, oh, that's so weird. I almost see the word sausage there. What's there? The word sausage. That was the spangram. We saw the spangram first today. Sausages. Oh my gosh. Andouille sausage is a delicious southern, you know, Louisiana sausage. Liverwurst is, I believe, Austrian or German. And then chorizo is a Mexican sausage, very loose. It's actually, I looked at the ingredients when I bought it. It's made of like beef, like not beef meat, but like beef, like cheek and weird, like glands or something. And I was like, this is like all the stuff left over. But you know, they spice it up really good and it tastes fine. I made chilaquiles, which if you've never had chilaquiles, go to an authentic Mexican restaurant and go get breakfast. Ask for chilaquiles, and they will give you a plate with like almost like nachos that have been smothered in red sauce, and then, you know, Mexican crumbling cheese and probably chorizo and fried eggs. It's divine. It's really good. Maybe some beans on the side. My kids were like, why are there beans in our breakfast? And I was like, just go with it. Refried beans in the breakfast. Oh, you don't know sausage? Oh man, sausage. If you can't tell, sausage is one of my favorite foods. I've eaten plenty of it in my life, not just, you know, hot dogs and things. Cool. Missing link. That's too funny. I saw the word. I was like, oh, I almost see the word I saw sausage. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, the U is there. Sausage. That's funny. Okay. And then letterbox today. That looks kind of funny until I click this button. Is that right? Awesome. Good. Okay. So letterbox today, we are trying to solve in 5 words. Which is pretty average, right? Sometimes they have you do it in 4, sometimes they have you do it in 6. But today we're just doing it in 5. If you've never played, we're trying to use up all 12 of these letters. Most efficiently, supposedly, you could do it in 2 words, but I don't know if that's usually possible. If I ever do, I take a screenshot of it. Not to compare to the previous answer, but just to, like, you know, memorialize a thing I did. Today, let's see. We could look at yesterday's already. Here, let's look at yesterday's. A couple days ago, I forgot to look at yesterday's, and I was like, dang, I forgot to show them. Robotic and complemented. Didn't we use the word robotic? Hold on, I feel like we used the word robotic yesterday. Maybe we are smart. SMRT, smart. Remember, Homer Simpson said that one time. He was like, I am so smart. SMRT. All right. Try to solve in 5 words. I am being SMRT right now. I've got an I, E, and U. All the vowels on the same side. Yeah, we did. We used the word robotic. Maybe that was your answer. I can't remember if something was gifted to me or if I am gifted. Did I come up with it myself? L, N, and M, F, K, and T, A, H, and C. So I can't do CH words. I could do TH words. Lots of things go with L. Lots of things go with C, right? CL. What are the THs I could do? There's no S in the puzzle. I was going to say like themselves, themself. Tool. Oh, why did it do that? Tool. Not a word. Okay, not a word. Thinkful? I don't think thinkful is a list. Hold on. I know thankful is a word. Oh, we can't do KF. Good thinking though. I mean, we could just say think. IN. There's no G, so I can't do ING words. My brain went dead for a sec. I was like, wait, think. What's the past tense of think? Thinked? No, thought. Thought. That's how that's how it works. Okay, we could end there, but the problem is it would end on a K, and I don't feel as confident ending on K, because then I have to start the next word with a K. And for a guy that his first name starts with a K, you'd think I'd be better at coming up with K words, but I am not. Well, kale. Kale gets a bad rap, doesn't it? It's like a bitter herb by itself, but if you put it in a smoothie, you can't even tell it's there. Oh, if there was a G, I could say effulgent. Or no, maybe that has 2 Fs. Does effulgent have 2 Fs? It might. It might. Maybe I'm off base there. These are kind of smaller words. Oh, emulate. Wow. Should we try that? What would that get rid of? Emulate. Love that. And I could say effect if it didn't have 2 two Fs. I could say elf. Elf's fine. And then just I can't do fact. Oh, there's no O. I can't say fictitious. Filth. There we go. That's a word. Filth. What? I haven't used the C yet? Crud. All right. I got to use the C somehow. I'm not going to use that word. There's a naughty word there that could actually work. I'm not going to put it. How about flick? There we go. That subverts the naughty word. I think when they edit these puzzles, they try not to use, naughty words. Or they'll rearrange the letters so that you can't make those words. Yeah, I know. I saw that too. Does it allow swear words? I'm not even going to try it. Callie, if you want to go create a whole different account, an incognito account, and try it yourself, I suppose you could let me know. But I'm not going to go type that in myself. That sounds dangerous on a live stream. All right, we did it in 5. That was par. We got par today. We got par yesterday, too. You had to do it in 4, and it was pretty tricky letters. Pretty tricky. We had think. The K led us to kale, which some people like, some people don't. E led us to emulate. The E, again, led us to elf to get rid of the L. And then flick. All we needed was the C. And I suppose, as Callie's dirty mind could agree, you could probably use the U. But that would have said a naughty word, which I'm not into doing. So, awesome. Okay. So, hey, if you like what you see today, give it a like. Consider subscribing. We do this every day. A lot of times when I first get home from work or on a lucky Saturday or Sunday, we do it just right in the morning when I first wake up. I like that my mind is refreshed. I've had a shower, right? I'm like, okay, invigorated. Even though yesterday was a very busy day, today's going to also be a busy day. I'll be able to just sort of like, I'm able to, let my mind be just here with you, right? I don't have to rush. I find when I rush, I tend to freeze up. My mind just freezes up, and I'm like, words don't make sense anymore. So it's better to allow yourself this sort of mind space. I've joked before. I said, well, maybe I'm going to live longer, right? I'm going to have better mental acuity. I'm avoiding Alzheimer's later in life by doing these puzzles. All right, letter sign-offs. Best. That's my least favorite one. Somebody says best in an email. I'm like, really? You didn't have time to say anything else? Best. Cheers. That's a cute one. Sometimes people say cheers. I feel like that's a dangerous one because there's a little bit of cultural appropriation there, right? Like, are you from England? Are you from Australia? Like, no, you have... You're a white suburban guy. You have... maybe some heritage there, but not, I don't know. Best, cheers, love, that's a sweet one. And then sincerely, whoa, sincerely. The green category, green without, meaning absent, minus, sans, or wanting. Sans means without. Purple is the fill in the blank. A lot of times the purple is the fill in the blank, but I find that fill in the blanks tend to be easier for me. I'm like, I see how these are related. There's a word that connects them, right? Bacon strip, comic strip, landing strip, sunset strip. Sunset Strip is in Los Angeles, California. Vigor, the blue category is vigor. Right? You've got the beans for it. People don't say that anymore, so of course that's a hard one to find. You've got the energy, the pep, the zip. Have you pep in your step? So that was connections. Let's move on to the mini crossword, which took us longer than usual, 8 minutes and 17 seconds today. Common inclusion in a tourist brochure. Honestly, I think this is why it took so long, because I had it in my head that this was some other word. I think I said fly. A tourist brochure. Here's why, okay? Because I thought you could like fly to a certain destination, so it might be fly. It was nothing like that. Nothing like that. Map. You get a brochure, it's got a map in it. Olympic honor. A medal. Any of a set of green plastic toys in Toy Story. I said Army Man, but it was not Army Man. It's Soldier. Soldier. Still on the loose, at large. Someone's out there running still today. They're at large. Driver's license or passport is a photo ID. The star of the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift. 30, 45, or 50. Or for my very light complexion, you need something even higher. I think they do make like 80 or 100 SPF. Solar. Don't you think that's what it sounds like it stands for? Solar protection factor? Probably factor. Did you know the Real ID bill passed back in 2005? It took 20 years to implement? Good heavens. Imagine diving into the metric system. 20 years to do that. It would take us Americans a long time to get our act together. That's funny. 20 years to do. That's nuts. All right. SPF chills out. Those ones with parentheses means that answer could also include what's in the parentheses, right? Chills out, mellows out. Prompt after swiping one's card at an iPad cash register. The most annoying question in the entire world. Do you want to add a tip? No, not ever. If it's okay, this is, I don't know, maybe controversial, but I have resigned myself to just, this is what I do. I've already made the decision. I told myself, you probably heard this before, like if you haven't made a decision, then you're not going to make a decision in the moment. If there's like a huge decision in life and you're like, okay, I already know what I'm going to say when this arises. They say to a kid, dare to not use drugs. So you already commit now. If somebody asks me, hey, do you want to use drugs? Then the answer is no, right? You already know the answer is no. So then when you go into a tricky situation like that, a friend at a party says, do you want to use drugs? And you go, oh my gosh, no, right? Because you've already previously made that decision. I have already made that decision in my heart about adding a tip. Okay. And it's not me being, a curmudgeon. I'm not being greedy. It's just here. If it's like table service, something that usually would have given a tip, right? You sat down, they took your order, they gave you waters, they worked real hard. That is a tippable action, right? Of course, a usual restaurant kind of interaction, that gets a tip. Tip culture is so out of control right now that this is just me, right? You can do your own thing. If you want to give a tip, if you are one of those workers and you're like, hey, you should never come to my store because, then I'll never get tips from you. Fine. That's cool. That's fine. But if I go to a place and it says, do you want to add a tip? And all they did was, that classic meme, like all they did was microwave an egg burrito for me, or all they did was whatever, then no, the answer is no, 100 times no. In fact, I would like to not ever come to your establishment again if you're going to try and steal a tip from me, because you should be paying your people a good wage. Now, a sit-down restaurant, literally, they are paid less. There's a whole different pay bracket for people that are, servers and waiters and stuff. So yes, you pay based on their performance. That's a tip. But just an hourly worker that gets paid, minimum wage or above, should you pay them a tip? I mean, I guess if they did a really, really good job, but if you were just like another person in line at Chipotle or something, do I give a tip for that? No, like literally that's their job. I don't know. That's just every time I go to a place and they say, well, it's going to ask you a few questions. You already know what the question's going to be, right? There's lots of memes about this. So that's exactly how I feel about it too. Tip culture is out of control. And I'm not greedy. I'm not a curmudgeon. If somebody does a really good job, I will absolutely afford, I will afford them that tip. But typically, if it's like a sit-down restaurant, absolutely give them a tip. If it's just, hey, I did the thing that I'm paid minimum wage to do already, do you want to add a tip to that? No, absolutely not. So I know it's an unpopular opinion, but tip culture is out of control, and I have already made the decision ahead of time. Going to the food truck or the whatever. Now food trucks may be a little different, right? Because that is their job. That is their service. So, yeah, you know, there are some gray areas, obviously. But when you get to like I know I said Chipotle before, but, you know, just you get to some establishment and they're asking for a tip. And it's one of those out of context places. Like, why would you add a tip here? Don't add a tip. You're just adding fuel to the fire. All right. Form groups of 2. Pair off. Flittering flyers around a flame. Moths. Totally authentic. Legit. Sticky stuff. Sap. And no turn on red. Allowing soldier at large and photo ID. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I the a-hole? Right? You know that question on Reddit? It's like, am I the bad guy? Should I be tipping every moment I get? Should I be tipping? Am I just like totally in the wrong here? I don't know. You let me know what your personal philosophy is about tipping. Maybe you are one of those hourly workers that like relies on those tips. I would say maybe you're not in the right position, right? You should be in a place where they do pay you what you're worth, rather than scrounging for tips from the person that's already paid you. Right, the customer has given you an agreed upon price. Why add to it because your employer doesn't want to add more to it? Do you know what I mean? Like give you a better, like pay you what you're actually worth. I don't know. All right, you tell me. Am I totally in the wrong here? Is tip culture just normal? Is that just something I have to accept? All right, the pizza delivery guy, I'd tip him. Or I'd just go pick up my own pizza. I don't think I've had delivery since I was like a teenager. All right. So speaking of pizza, here's yeast. Yeast to make bread. There's Lance. I guessed Lance, and that gave me the A and the E. I guessed T and Y and S in typos. Lucky me. And 2 guesses in the second guess. I already had two guesses. That's cool. So I got all 5 letters. And then I had... the rearrangement of those. What did I try before? Like tasty or something, but that didn't use the E. And then something else. I don't remember. But stay. I don't remember. But rearranging the letters in a way that works. I tried yeast and it worked. Yeast. All right. Strands. Strands. This was funny because I looked at, today's theme, find the missing links, and I was like, I wonder if this is about sausage. And I was like, wait a minute, I see the words, like, I was like, oh, isn't that weird? I see sausage, and then I saw S, and then U, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is sausage. I thought it was missing link, like evolution, or who knows what, the link between apes and man, or something. It's all about sausage links. How about liverwurst? Andouille sausage, delicious sausage from the south, right? Cajun, Louisiana, Mississippi kind of area. Chorizo is like kind of leftover byproducts of the beef industry, and then mixed up into delicious. I mean, it tastes delicious, but it's kind of all the leftovers. Tastes good. Kielbasa. Oh, I love kielbasa. That's a family favorite of mine. We love doing kielbasa. And then sometimes I'll cut it up into like rings, or those oblong rings if you cut it on an angle, and throw that into beans with some meat and some other things, and we'll make Brazilian, why can't I think of the word? Feijoada. So good. So good. And then salami. Cool. If you like what you saw today, give it a like. Consider subscribing. We do this every day. Today's letterboxed took us from think, and the K led us to kale. It's dangerous using a K because there's not a whole lot of words that use K, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. And so then we went from kale, which people get, it gets a bad rap. People don't like it. Kale to emulate, and then the E for elf, and then the F for elf led us to flick. And yes, Callie, you're right. I could have used a naughty word there, but I chose not to. That's not my thing. All right, good stuff. Well, great puzzles today. Thanks for the chat. I wonder if Oranja was on here today. I realized after the stream, I watched one of his videos and I was like, dang, I was pronouncing his name wrong the whole time. I felt bad. But I'm sure he'll be back on, and I'm sure that I will watch his puzzles too. I'd love to do. I'm sure that depending on where he is, maybe he streams earlier than I do, time zone wise. But if he's created some puzzles and done that already, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, if you like what you saw, give it a like. Consider subscribing. I will update you on all the fun things that I do today. It's kind of a family day, right? Getting together with some family and celebrating how awesome my kids are. So, yeah. Anyway, if you like all this, then I'll see you next time. Catch you on the next one. See ya.